Rachel woke before her alarm. The date was June 1st, 2025. Sunlight streamed through her window. It was a bright, hopeful morning. Today was not just any day, it was the day of her big interview. This interview was for a job she truly wanted, a job that could change her life. She felt a mix of nerves and excitement. This chance felt like a doorway to her future. She had to be at her very best. She had prepared for weeks. Her outfit was chosen carefully. It was neat and professional. Her notes were organized perfectly in a folder. She reviewed them one last time. Each point was clear in her mind. She practiced her answers many times. She spoke to her reflection in the mirror. She wanted to sound confident. She wanted to show her passion. This preparation was her armor for the challenge ahead. This job was more than just a position. It was a dream she had nurtured for years. She imagined herself working there. She saw herself contributing to the team. She pictured the projects she would lead. These thoughts fueled her determination. This was not just about a salary, it was about purpose. It was about growth. It was about making a real difference in her chosen field. With a deep breath, Rachel left her apartment. She walked to the train station. The city was waking up around her. People rushed to their own destinations. She felt a quiet confidence building inside. She had done everything she could to prepare. Now, it was time to face the interviewers. She visualized success. She pictured herself shaking hands, smiling. The journey to the city center had begun, filled with anticipation. The train moved smoothly at first. Rachel looked out the window. The city sped by in a blur. She mentally rehearsed her opening lines. She felt calm and collected. Then, with a sudden lurch, the train stopped. It did not stop at a station. It stopped in the middle of the tracks. A moment of silence. Then confusion started to ripple through the carriage. Everyone looked around, puzzled. An announcement crackled over the speakers. The voice was unclear at first, then the message became painfully obvious. There was a technical problem on the line. The delay would be significant. At least an hour, the voice said. Rachel's heart sank. An hour? Her interview was in less than that. Panic began to rise like a tide within her. Her carefully laid plans started to crumble. This could not be happening. Time ticked by with agonizing slowness. Each minute felt like an eternity. Rachel checked her watch constantly. Her palms began to sweat. She tried to call the company. There was no signal on her phone underground. Tears welled up in her eyes. She felt a wave of despair wash over her. All her preparation, all her hopes, were they going to be lost because of a train delay? It felt so unfair. She thought of the interviewers waiting. They would think she was unreliable. They would think she did not care. This was the exact opposite of the truth. She cared so much. This job meant everything to her. The feeling of helplessness was overwhelming. Her chance, her big opportunity seemed to be slipping away. The world, which had seemed so bright that morning, now felt dark and cruel. As Rachel struggled with her emotions, an elderly woman sitting nearby noticed her. The woman had kind eyes and a gentle smile. She had seen Rachel's distress. She leaned over slightly. "Are you all right, my dear?" she asked softly. Her voice was calm and soothing. Rachel, surprised by the kindness, could only nod at first. Then the words tumbled out. She explained about the important interview. She explained about the terrible delay. The elderly woman listened patiently. She did not interrupt. When Rachel finished, the woman smiled again. "Let me tell you a little story," she began. She spoke of a time in her own youth. She was going for a vital scholarship interview. Her bus had broken down. She arrived very late, flustered and upset. She thought all was lost, but that delay, that unexpected event, had changed her path in a way she never anticipated. The woman explained that because she was late, she missed her original interview slot. She had to wait. While waiting, she met someone else. This person told her about a different opportunity, a newer field, a path she had never considered. She decided to explore it. This new path led her to a fulfilling career, a career she loved deeply, a career she would never have found without that bus breaking down. Her setback became a setup for something better. Sometimes, the woman said, her eyes twinkling, what seems like a disaster is actually a detour to something even more suited for us. Don't lose heart. Go to your interview no matter how late. Be honest, be yourself. What is meant for you will find its way. Her words were simple, yet they carried a profound wisdom. For Rachel, it was like a small light turning on in a very dark room. A tiny spark of hope began to glow. Rachel thought about the elderly woman's story, a disaster turning into a detour. It was a new way to see her situation. The panic began to subside a little. The woman's calm confidence was infectious. Maybe, just maybe, this wasn't the end of her chance. Maybe there was still something she could do. She took another deep breath. This time it felt a little easier to breathe. The tightness in her chest lessened. She made a decision. She would go to the interview, even if she was very late. She would explain what happened. She would be completely honest and genuine. She wouldn't make excuses. She would simply tell her story. The train finally started moving again after what felt like forever, and when it reached her stop, she ran. She ran as fast as she could towards the office building. She was determined to see this through. She arrived at the reception desk, out of breath. She was over an hour late. She explained her situation calmly to the receptionist. Then, she explained it again to the interview panel. She spoke from the heart. She did not try to hide her earlier distress. She simply shared her experience. The interviewers listened. They saw her sincerity. They saw her determination. Her genuineness in that moment was powerful. It showed her true character. A few days later, Rachel received a phone call. She had gotten the job. The interviewers said they were impressed. Not just by her qualifications, they were impressed by her resilience. They were impressed by her honesty in a difficult situation. Rachel realized the elderly woman was right. The unexpected delay had tested her, but it also allowed her true self to shine. She learned a valuable lesson that day. Life is unpredictable, but resilience, unexpected kindness, and being genuine can turn challenges into triumphs.